very much, Andy. So in unlikely circumstances, Europe have hit the front for the first time, and instead of trying to level things up, Albin, Ouschan and Jayson now find themselves with a chance to put just a little daylight between the sides, if they can get the better of Billy Thorpe and Skyler Woodward. But Alison, that's a big if.
Yes, we saw Skyler and Billy last year defeating Niels Feyen and Alexander Kazakis 5-1. So they're obviously a really good combo, good friends away from the table, a lot of camaraderie and the same haircut, a mullet.
Yeah, they were described as the mullet pairing at the announcement yesterday. Speaking of past records, though, the last time Ouschan and Shaw played together in doubles was on the opening night 2 years ago, and they won by 5-1 against Thorpe and Woodward.
Really? There you go. So I like both pairings. I like Billy and Sky just because of their personality mix, and then with Jayson you've got the storm and the calm with Albin.
Europe to break.
So let's see which pair can get the better of each other here. But again, Europe have to be unbelievably relieved for that last point.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, just to wrap that one up, how that affects Chris Robinson, the fact that he's lost a match that he knows he should have won, and so early on in his Mosconi Cup career, something like that is bound to get into his head a bit.
Well, I think all players have been there. He's not the only one, and you know, he just overcooked it. I just honestly think it was adrenaline on that 7 ball, because he could have been so many places on the table and not left himself so bad. So bitterly disappointed, I'm sure, but you've got to let it go. You've got to stay present. You're playing with a team, and you're in as a team and out as a team.
There's no way to get.
What a player Albin Ouschan has been in the Mosconi Cup. He's played 17 matches coming into this year's tournament. He's only lost 4 of them.
Has he really? That's a tremendous record.
Yeah, and it could have been even better, you know, because you look back at the 4 matches he lost. The team match in 2015, Hill-Hill. The doubles with Niels Feyen against Woodward and Steyr in 2018, Hill-Hill. And then the singles the same year against Woodward, that was Hill-Hill. So he's only actually coming into this tournament this year, only lost by more than 1 rack on 1 occasion out of 17 matches.
That's incredible. What a great record for this level of event. Nice shot. It's hard to hold the speed on this table, that's for sure. He spun that ball in. You could have gone up and down, but there was a little bit of work there, you know, around those balls. But he's left a thin cut for Jayson down the rail here.
Well, so many talking points already on this opening night, and the speed of the table that you alluded to there, perhaps the biggest of those. We've seen interesting turns of fate in all of the matches so far.
Wow, he just overcut that very slow. You can see it. Just stood in the pocket there. That was a tough cut. He had to play it with a lot of inside English, but nevertheless, this table has been playing very hard.
When people talk about how golf's Ryder Cup turned around after many years of American domination, they speak of Seve Ballesteros as the man who was the catalyst for things swinging back in Europe's favour. Well, Skyler Woodward may come to be seen in a similar sense in the history of the Mosconi Cup. He's played such a key role in turning things around in recent years.
Yeah, he's such an asset to the team for sure. Great team player, great motivation for everyone. And the calm, you know, he's a real calm person, very relaxed. He's also become a father now at a young age, and I think he's relishing that in these COVID times too.
It wasn't always so, you know, because the last time the Americans were beaten 3 years ago, he lost all 5 matches he was involved in. His record was 4 wins out of 16 across all Mosconi Cups up until then, but really? 5 wins out of 7 then in 2018, and then last year 6 wins from 7, and of course he was the man who delivered the winning points. So it's been a very different story for him since those early struggles.
Well, and there you go for Chris. You've got to look at things like that. It doesn't happen immediately for some players, and Sky obviously matured from those losses and gained a lot of experience very young, and has become the player he has become over the last few years.
So a chance to strike an early blow here. It was Europeans who had a chance early on. It's looking very good for the Americans from this position.
Yeah, as I said, I think they make a great combination. Billy's a great player, and he's very animated, isn't he? He certainly has been when we've had the crowd here in past years.
Yeah, some players just feed off the crowd and turn the crowd feed off them, but they've got to find a different way to generate that energy this year.
Well, it looks to be working so far.
The man who potted the winning 9-ball last year in the Mosconi Cup has done the same in the opening rack here. The American pairing of Woodward and Thorpe go 1-0 up.
That's one of the better breaks, aside from, wow. Look at that, 3 balls dropped. He's left a kick shot for Billy possibly here to kick that 1 ball in off the side rail. Because there's not many ways to play safe there. To push out. Let's see what he does. It's not as close to the pocket as I thought it was.
I think we got to kick, dude. Or on the other, yeah, you got to kick.
So they're going to kick safe.
Go ahead.
In fact, I
kick
think.
her on in.
Oh, they kick her on in. Look at that. This is the beauty of it. They let each other do what they want to do, and hey, it's whatever you're feeling at the moment, because this game can change on a dime, so they say. That'd be a 10-pence piece.
I was going to say, you've been in America too long, Alison.
I know, look at that. Ooh. But that's come out well for him. It was a good choice of shot.
Good hit, buddy.
Go for it.
But they can certainly tie them back up behind that 2-ball there, I think. See how close that was?
Yeah, it wasn't one of those that's sitting just in the jaws and you just need to give it any touch to knock it in.
Yeah, I see them putting it. I see this shot being a good safety behind using that 2-ball there. That's nicely played. Some safeties you don't want to get too cute with, you know, like too railing it behind the 2. You just want to make sure they can't see it. Because the object ball obviously doesn't go straight into a pocket either.
27 years of age now, Skyler Woodward. This is his 6th Mosconi Cup in a row. He's on the losing side in all of the first 3. As I said, the whole recent history of this tournament has turned around in recent years, and he's been one of the biggest single reasons for that.
Yeah, didn't he pot the winning 9-ball in the last Mosconi Cup?
He did, amid extraordinary celebrations before that last ball had even gone down.
Yeah, that was great. It was an easy combo at the end, and it was all, the hard work was done at that point. But wow, what a position to be in to make that final ball.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, there was no way he was missing that, so he could really savour the moment and was able to do it with his teammates.
And 2,000 people.
Change times now, of course.
I'm sure all the family are watching at home.
Attention, please.
Along with the rest of America. Is he going to jump that? I think he's going to jump that.
Yeah. We ain't got no 20 seconds.
The jump cue's become very useful in these matches, the last few matches. It's come out a lot.
Billy Thorpe, the younger member of this pairing, 24 years of age.
All got a kiss on the 4. Giving Europe a chance at the table. I'm sure they're eager to draw the games up right now.
Alex Lely there, the European captain, who certainly so analytical, he'll have noticed some of the mistakes and shortcomings of his players, but overall he's got to be pleased that they're in front.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. First year as captain, I believe. Has he captained before?
No, first time.
Okay, thank you. I know you're a statistician here. But he's a good guy. I think he's a great man for the job, that's for sure. We've seen Johan in the past be the coach for both Europe and America, and he really kicked America into being a really good team. And now Jeremy Jones is doing a great job. I really like Jeremy's approach. He's a really good all-rounder, and obviously he's had Mosconi appearances in the past, so he knows what it's all about. Albin playing the 4-ball onto the 8-ball here. Nice little combo. So composed, as I said in his last matches. Such a composed player, never ruffled, never agitated. A little bit of work to do for Albin. Here, I'm sure he'd love to have been on the other side of the 4-ball so he could float down for the 9. But then Jayson didn't want to get near the side pocket either. Sometimes you don't want to be too perfect because that can cost you. That's a nice shot. Beautiful shot. The speed, the angles, really nicely played there for Jayson to have a nice shot on the 9. Nicely played.
Rack number 3, we are all tied at 1-1.
Albin
Team
up to
Europe,
break.
Break.
Yeah, as I said, it's the start of Lely's second run as captain. He was first in charge in Malta all the way back in 2008 and had a comfortable win. He's captain again in the defeat, though, the following year in Nevada, beaten 11-7 by Nick Varner's side. So essentially it is the start of a new era because really the whole context of the Mosconi Cup has changed. A lot of history has happened in it since then.
I think the coaches are much more involved now too. I mean, I know over the months leading up to this, they've been on loads of Zoom calls, playing online, so Alex could see them, a lot of mental tips. Whereas the American team, some of them have been competing here and there, probably played a few more matches than the Europeans. But nevertheless, been tough for everyone, really, without the practice, match practice, and getting together as a team.
Yeah, both captains have been very inventive, and there's certainly plenty of time to put what ideas they've had into practice because of that lack of tournament action. A lot of Zoom calls and things like that.
That's a nice shot, look at that. That was a beautiful shot, played with some left-hand English just to straighten that cue ball out off of that second rail there. Really nice shot. Good speed as well. It's not surprising he's a world champion, is it?
Yeah, excellent cue ball control. Setting up this routine 3.
Yeah, I don't think the 7 goes around the back of the, but they might be looking at a carom, the 7 onto the 9. So they're thinking 3 shots ahead. He needs to just leave a nice angle on the 6 ball here so they can get a perfect angle for the 7-9 carom. That's what he's looking at now, where he wants to place his partner. Could have been a little bit easier, but he's got to play it with a little bit of left spin on the cue ball. Could have been a little higher up with the cue ball there. but shouldn't be a problem for Albin with his knowledge of the game. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, nicely done. And the European pairing lead by 2 racks to 1. Playing in the Mosconi Cup can be a hair-raising experience. But the American pairing of Skyler Woodward and Billy Thorpe are enjoying themselves, enjoying the experience and having some fun, even though they trail in this 4th match of the opening night against Jayson Shaw and Albin Ouschan by 2 racks to 1.
What a pairing, I love it.
Yeah, you see in these team competitions, players are paired on all sorts of bases, maybe nationalities, similar personalities. I'm fairly sure I've never seen a pairing in any sport that got matched up, perhaps because of their hairstyles.
Well, it's just nice to see them let their hair down.
They've certainly got plenty of it to do that with.
Oopsie daisy. Not happy with that. Definitely not. I called it too thin on the side and lost the cue ball there. Look at that, the top spin just took. It just went forward, didn't it? Didn't catch it low enough.
When I hear you using an expression like oopsie daisy,
I know. It's from, what was it? What was the movie with, oh gosh, Notting Hill, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say it really shows me you're finally settling back into your home country.
I got a land here and I've become English again. It's amazing.
It's good.
I just marvel at the fact you haven't lost your accent at all in a quarter of a century living on the other side of the Atlantic.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, back to business here. Ball in hand for the Europeans, who have the upper
seconds.
hand both in this match and in the overall Mosconi Cup in the early stages.
Yeah. Some people might be tempted to play a 1-9 combo, but there's a lot of distance there, and if they play this one ball right, they're trying to leave a little combo on the 2-3, and then the 2 would go off of the 3 and leave a shot into the right side pocket. So let's just see how they play this. Yeah, you see he's going to cut the 2 slightly to make the 3, and then the 2 will go off in the opposite direction, and then leave Albin a shot on the 2 ball after making the 3. And then it should be an easy out from there, so this is the key shot here. Oh. Yep, nicely played.
This is the start of back-to-back matches for Ouschan. He'll be playing in the singles against Shane van Boening to finish the opening day. And people were saying, wouldn't it be great if it was 2 apiece going into that, and that was to decide who had the lead at the end of the opening day. In a way, there might be even more on that match if Europe are going in 3-1 up and they've got a chance to build a really big lead, and van Boening will be trying to reel them in. Either way, though, that's going to be a great way to finish this day.
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to that one. Both super solid players, so consistent. It's a really good matchup.
Albin Ouschan, 30 years of age, the only Austrian ever to play in the Mosconi Cup. Had a very good debut 5 years ago, won 4 matches out of 6. The following year, went 5-0. To be MVP. So he settled into the Mosconi Cup environment very quickly.
He does well in matchroom events. He's a great doubles partner to Mario He. They've won in the what's it, the World Cup?
The World Cup,
the World Cup of pool. They've won 2 championships, playing really well together. So he's, you know, he's got a really good temperament for doubles play. Obviously, being a tremendous singles player too.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that yesterday, actually, his record in this event, his record in the World Cup. It suggests that he really seems to thrive on the team environment. It brings out the best in him. Alex Lely reckons that there's nobody who thrives more on the big arena environment. So you add it all up, and it's no surprise, really. He's got this great record in the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, it's great to see him back on the team.
That was pretty straightforward in the end.
They were just discussing the break now, what the best way to play this is, whether to take some power on or
Rack
off.
number 4, current
Let's see
score
what
is
Jayson
3-1
does.
Team Europe. Team Europe to break.
And that cost Billy And Sky, the rack before, was the break. He scratched on the break and gave the advantage to Europe, and now Europe are breaking. This is a big game, leading 3-1. No balls on the break.
First dry break for the Europeans in this match.
You see from the overhead there that the wing ball hit the top rail. So they need to make some adjustments here. I felt like Albin's break was really good. So Jayson's got to find his break. And leave Sky a shot on the one. Let's see what he does, if he's just going to go into the rail and back over for the 2. That was really nicely played. That was a really tough shot to play, and he played it really well.
Billy Thorpe won 3 of the 5 matches he was involved in last year. It was actually the first time in his 3 Mosconi Cup appearances that he didn't end the week with a losing record. So a bit like Woodward, looks like he's gradually finding his way as a Mosconi Cup player over the years.
That was a nice shot too. They made those 2 shots look really easy.
You want below it or above it? Probably back here. Can get you there, here, up here? Yeah. Probably a little higher, right? You want like here? Yeah, I'm gonna try to get you
Now he looked back to see if he needed a shot to play an extension there, but not needed. They're quite quick players, these 2, when they get going. Now this is the shot, isn't it? Here, to get on the right angle, to get all the way down there for the 5 ball. He's quite close to the rail, so if he gets too much top on it, that can make the cue ball die a little bit. But
Attention,
I
please.
think he's going to hit 2 rails and float down, possibly here. Not sure if it's a 1 rail or 2. I think the way the top spin's going to react on this ball might make it a 2 rail shot. Let's see.
25.
There, see how it died into the rail there? Just let the top spin, let the cue ball go forward there. Not an easy shot for Sky. It's about obviously controlling the cue ball here to give Billy a shot back.
Hold that pause.
Woodward's only defeat in the 7 matches he played last year was in doubles with Justin Bergman, and it was against a pairing that included Jayson Shaw, who was teamed up with Alex Kazakis in that one.
That was a nice shot there. At least he's given Billy a chance. It's not an easy one, but he's given Billy a chance back at the table.
Well, that's what it's all about. Give your partner some sort of shot to play when he comes to the table.
Yeah, get them settled in, and they're good teammates together. You can tell the way they talk to each other.
Oh yeah, I mean the rapport is obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow, I don't know. The cut shot looked like it could have been on into that corner, but he is a great banker. He came with some tremendous banks last year, but see how long that went, that bank. Or a double, as we would have said in snooker. Very common shot in pool, obviously not in snooker.
We can get the cue ball up there.
Well, it's a much smaller area for the ball to travel on a shot like that than it would be on a much bigger snooker table, so you see a lot more of them taken on and a lot more of them being made.
But also you see the diamonds on the rail that you can use as measurements too.
Go ahead.
You don't have that on the snooker table.
I know, I could have got off the hair.
I felt like the cut shot would have been a better shot there. But anyway, he's got, nevertheless, it looks like he's got away with it. I was looking at that. He's played it behind the 7. Not quite made it, but I was wondering if he could have played it off the 8. I think he could have. The way, did you see the way that 6 ball was travelling towards a corner pocket.
Yes.
I actually think he could have hit it harder and made the ball there.
He'll settle for that, and this is a really good chance now. They're hanging in here. I really feel they've got to win this rack now. Okay, 4-1, they're still in it, but they've got the chance here. Put a bit of pressure on the Europeans, who have taken control really after losing the opening rack.
Yeah, but also the American players will be up to break next too. So it's a big momentum swing, isn't it? When you lose a rack that you shouldn't lose, and then the opponents come in, make that rack, and then they break and make a rack. Then that puts you right back under pressure.
All very fair points. The one thing we do have to say in relation to that is we've seen very few break and run-outs this evening across the matches.
Surprising, isn't it? I think Chris came with one in his match and was supposed to run out the match to win it with another break and run, and unfortunately failed in that endeavour. Still, we got Woodward and Thorpe regaining a little rack there, and I'm very pleased to be back here though, as being part of it.
Current score is 3-2.
Yeah, delighted
Europe,
to have you on board.
USA
and
break.
the Americans delighted to be getting a bit more of a foothold in this now, as Woodward starts us off in rack 6.
There you go. He's the one. He's the one player who's making that wing ball every time. But unfortunately not controlled the cue ball to get a shot on the one ball. You see that? Got the speed right, got the cut right. And he's done that 2 times in this match already, so just got to get that one ball and cue ball moving closer together.
It's been another theme tonight, hasn't it? A lot of good breaks, balls being potted off them, but so often the players then left frustrated by being left nothing really to go at.
Yeah, you can't get flowing like that. He's going to come in behind the one ball, lots of right hand spin and stick the cue ball there. Yeah, that looked tough. Has he been a bit fortunate? Not quite. Yeah, he couldn't quite get in far enough there. Normally that's quite a natural shot, but the one ball needed to be a little bit further out, I think, off around. This table's very slippery, so he obviously didn't, the spin didn't react the way he wanted it to.
One rail? Forward one rail, or?
And I'm sure that Albin and Jayson are relieved to be back at the table here.
Attention, please.
Because this is a chance to close the match out. Actually, it's not a chance to close it because it's 3-2. I thought it was 4-2.
No, indeed. But, I mean, similar to what we said in the last rack, if they do go 4-2, and then they'll have the break with Ouschan in the next rack.
Yeah, big advantage. Little pressure off. He's just overcooked that a little bit, hasn't he? I think he's... Oh, no, sorry. I thought he was bridging over the 6 for the 3. Sorry. Get my mind back in this.
Albin Ouschan, world champion 4 years ago. Comprehensively beat Shane van Boening in the final. He'd already been in the World Championship final 2 years before that, losing to Niels Fyen, a player who'll be very familiar to regular viewers of the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, Niels, great player. And he's watching, I know, from the Netherlands now. He's been training hard. He's produced some training material if people want to tune in and see what he's doing on social media. But yeah, Niels has been a huge part of this Mosconi Cup team.
The Dutch players all seem to take to the coaching. They all seem to be great thinkers on the game, and they seem to have a lot of wisdom to pass on to other players.
So. I was talking with Alex about that earlier. There's quite a few countries out there in Europe that really support billiards and the players. Poland being one of them. Netherlands offer grants to players who earn medals at the European Championships, and they're very structured, and you have to admire that. You know, that's something that really we need in America for sure. Some definite structure there.
Well, 9-ball pool is by far the most international of all the cue sports. When you go to the big events, there are players from all corners of the world. Unfortunately, that great strength has been to the game's disadvantage this year, because that global nature has made it so much harder to get big events on, because it's so hard to bring players from all over the world, and that's why we've had such a blank year, really. players are here for this. Jason Shaw said that after the year we've had, it's time for the players to get back to doing what they do best. And Shaw and Ouschan are certainly doing that here. Not been a flawless performance by any means, but they're on top, they're on the hill, and they now lead by 4 racks to 2. The man we saw there was Jeremy Jones, starting his era as captain of the American team, former US Open champion, World Championship runner-up.
Yeah, Jeremy's a very experienced player, been on the Mosconi team, as he's been on 7 times.
I know he's played 34 Mosconi Cup matches.
Yeah, I think he's been on it 7 times.
His last appearance would have been 2008. On 2 occasions, actually, Jeremy Jones was the man to deliver the winning point for the Americans.
Well, they've come up dry on the break again. Look at this. We tried switching sides to see if it would be any better, but it hasn't worked. Fortunately, he hasn't left a decent shot on the 1 ball. So they've got to decide whether they want to push out or give it back.
Just to briefly answer your question, adding them all up, I think it was 7 Mosconi Cups that Jeremy Jones played in, and they only lost 2 of them.
Well, that's a lovely record to have, isn't it? Yeah, they're pushing out, and obviously Europe have the option. Oh, he didn't call. He didn't call the push.
I hear you.
Oh no! Massive mistake. They've given Europe ball in hand.
Well, that's amazing. You think of all the preparation the players have put in, the preparation they've put in as a squad as well, and then to just go and do something as basic as that.
Oh no, these are the rules, but it is brutal. I mean, because obviously you're playing a push out, but the referee has to hear it and acknowledge it to the other team and the arena. And he's got to be devastated over that. Your mind gets carried away with what you're doing as opposed to, you know, announcing what you're doing to the referee. That's really unfortunate. Fortunate for Europe, very unfortunate for America there.
He realised his error as soon as it was pointed out to him, and it's the 2nd time tonight that we've seen something like that. Of course, with the clothing foul that turned the team match on its head earlier on by Eklent Kaci. That was hugely significant, so this could be just as much so.
We see Albin tucking himself in there, making sure that doesn't happen to him.
Once bitten, twice shy.
That's right. That was a nice shot. Nice speed, because it gives Jayson a good shot to get up for the next ball.
Like here.
Yeah. And if they can finish this out here, what momentum Ouschan will then carry into that last match of the day against Van Boening.
Yeah, keep his cool, keep composed, gives him a bit of relief. But again, you want to end that day far ahead as you can get. So if they do win this one, it'll be 3-1, and I'm sure Albin will want to make it 4-1. So we've seen some crazy things today, haven't we?
Really has been such an eventful day, and of course not over yet. The great thing about the team dynamic and all the different players and permutations that you see, there's so much scope for so many different things to happen and so many narratives to unfold. And I mean, that happens over the 4 days, but we've seen so much of it already on the opening night. So many stories to tell.
That was a nice shot he played there. Close to the corner, but not close, not enough. I mean, he's left Jayson a nice little angle to get down for the 6th ball for Albin to shoot. That was a really nice shot.
Sorry, Alison, I was just going to say what an amazing feeling it was for Skyler Woodward to be the man to deliver the final blow for the Americans last year, but what a different feeling it will be if his last action of this opening day is that huge error he made that really now looks as though it's gifted this rack and ultimately the match to the Europeans.
Yeah, I bet they can't believe that. But you know what? Nobody will be doing that again in this tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any clothing fouls either.
No.
But Woodward will have to go and sleep on that all night, try to come out stronger tomorrow, because it looks as though that is going to be his last act of the day. And Europe are going to become the first side to open a bit of daylight by going 2 points clear in the match.
Well, they've worked really well together as a team, don't you think?
Absolutely. They've got stronger and stronger as this match has gone on.
A lot of trust in each other.
And it's Scotland's Jayson who delivers the winning 9 ball.